class through 1924. In first prize, Kirk Bewley from Stockton, California with a 1910 Rambler 4-cylinder touring. This is a Rambler from the era when there was no connection to Nash. It was an independent mark, and they built huge 4-cylinder, reliable touring cars. This car was restored some years ago and has traveled extensively on automotive tours. First prize, Kirk Bewley from Stockton, California. And in American Vintage Cars, 1925 to 1942, first prize, Lyle and Vicki Burgess from Stockton, California, the 1933 Oldsmobile Model F33 Touring Sedan. Beautiful 6-cylinder Oldsmobile, freshly restored. Lyle Burgess is a purveyor of parts for antique automobiles and is a savior to many an antique car through a business known as Rare Parts in Stockton. And next, in American Classic Open, Steve Finn from Los Altos, California, in a 1932 Lincoln Model KB V12 convertible roadster with coachwork by LeBaron. This was Lincoln's finest offering during the 1930s, and a beautifully restored example. Thank you very much. And the American Classic Cars closed. First prize, Alan and Anna Nelson from San Mateo, California, a 1934 Packard V12 Club Sedan. Classic styling and unusual in 1934 to find artillery wheels on a Packard 12 is a very rare accessory, but very handsome. 475 cubic inch V12. And in our class for Pierce Arrow, first prize, Larry and Leona Seidel from Pinole, California, the 1924 Pierce Arrow Model 33 Runabout. This is a big 6-cylinder Pierce Arrow. Pierce was one of the leading luxury cars in the 1920s. Car was formerly part of the Hera collection in Reno, Nevada. And in the Packard category, John and Jean Fuchs from Sacramento, California, with a 1948 Packard Custom-8 convertible. This was Packard's largest series and their first post-war convertible. Beautifully restored car. Mr. Fuchs does much of the work on the car himself. I drove one of those to high school, but it didn't look like that. And in our Rolls-Royce category, Robert Blake from Santa Clara with a 1987 Rolls-Royce Corniche 2 convertible. This is a coach-built car, top of the line in Rolls-Royce, beautifully proportioned and amazingly preserved car. And in our favorite wooden body cars, Wally and Sylvia Hamilton from Nevada City, California, a 1941 Mercury V8 station wagon. The wooden cars are one of the favorite categories here at the Concours. And in our Chevrolet class, Stephen Tamberlin Tibbetts from Sacramento, California, with a 1968 Chevrolet Camaro SS Coupe. Personal sports car, Chevrolet's answer to the Mustang, and quite an answer it was.
It wouldn't take photos. I had to run, so I didn't get the winner, so I had to run all the, it just crashed. Here, switch pages. That's not your fault. You need a device.
And in Chevrolet Corvette, first prize to Ernie and Debbie Benson from Sonora, California, with a 1963 Chevrolet split window Corvette Coupe. Beautifully done car. One of our featured classes for Stutz automobiles, Don and Linda Muckle from Groveland, California, with an extremely rare 1915 Stutz Bearcat. This is a huge four-cylinder T-head. It's well known as America's first sports car. Beautiful example, extremely rare car. We were really fortunate to have two of them here today. This is a very special example. And in our Volkswagen category, beautifully prepared Volkswagen 1965 sunroof sedan, better known as a Bug, the original Bug. Ken and Diane Jackson from Horsgold, California, with their 1956 Volkswagen sunroof sedan. We were so used to seeing those on the roads, and all of a sudden they're just kind of gone. Beautiful example. In our unrestored pre-World War II category, first prize, Luke Rizzuto from Los Gatos, California, with a very rare 1918 Chevrolet V8 Touring. Many people feel that the first Chevrolet V8 was in 1955, but here's living proof. This is a beautifully preserved example, and it has been driven all over the United States by Mr. Rizzuto. Fabulous original car. And in our category for unrestored cars post-World War II, John H. White from Sacramento, California, with a 1957 dual Ghia convertible. This is a very rare hybrid that used Chrysler components that had a Ghia-built body. Chrysler and Ghia had a long association. This is an unrestored example. It was delivered new to the exotic car dealer in Monterey's life, and it has been preserved ever since. Beautiful example. And in another favorite category, our micro and mini cars. First prize to Brad and Tony Martin from Placerville, California, with a 1960 Morris Minor 1000 convertible. Very popular British import in the early years. And in our immediate post-war American car category, first prize to Larry Rodkey from Elk Grove, California, with a 1953 Kaiser Dragon sedan. This was Kaiser's top-of-the-line offering. It sold for approximately what a new Cadillac did in 1953. Beautiful example. Bamboo-style interior. Very special car. Lots of gold trim. A rare car when new, and even more rare now. And American Automobiles 1955 through 1964, first prize to Jerry Franke from Rescue, California, a 1961 Cadillac Series 62 convertible. Cadillac owned the luxury market in this country in 1961, and it's not hard to see why. Beautiful car. And in our category for American automobiles 1965 to 1972, Nelson and Sherry Cartagero from Tracy, California. A 1969 Ford Mustang 428 Grande. Lots of motor in that car, and you can hear the exhaust up here. Beautiful example. And moving to European Sports and Grand Touring, our first prize car, Carl and Remery's Prouse from Arnold, California, a 1953 MG TD Roadster. MG was one of the first successful sports cars brought into the post-war market from England, and this is a beautiful example. In our Jaguar category, first place, the Kurt and Polly Raffetto from Placerville, California, a 1953 Jaguar XK120 drophead. Jaguar, as well as MG, invaded the market from Britain after the war and was very, very successful, and this is a beautifully prepared example. And in our Austin Healey category, first prize, the Hudson G. Vitesh from Sacramento, California, a 1956 Austin Healey 100M Roadster. And in our Porsche category, first prize, Paul and Jackie Mayhews from Los Gatos, California, 1964 Porsche 356C Coupe. The classic style that made Porsche what the car that it is now in the United States. A beautiful example. In our Triumph category, first prize, Gordon and Jackie Temple from Folsom, California, with a very rare 1949 Triumph Model 2000 Roadster. That is a very interesting rumble seat. The portion of the trunk lid comes up to form a windshield, and the balance opens to form the seat. Extremely rare car. We were really fortunate. There were two of these cars today, and this car, first prize. In our category for post-war coach-built automobiles, first prize, Wesley G. Cheswick from Clovis, California, a 1948 Alvis drophead coupe with coachwork by Pickford. Beautiful example of an extremely high-quality British car. And in our Model A Ford category, first prize, Alan and Susie Bennett from Calabasas, California, with a 1931 Ford Model A Deluxe Coupe. Model A series was introduced in 1928 and was an instant success. sold heavily despite the onset of the Depression, and here is a beautiful 1931 example. Rumble seat deluxe coupe.
So which one's going to be best?
And in our Ford Thunderbird category, first prize to Jim and Maria Guthrie from Hayward, California with a 1957 Ford Thunderbird. The two-passenger model, convertible, came with a removable hardtop with a porthole. It's the last year of production for the famous two-passenger Thunderbird.
Jim, stay there, Jim! Jim!
And in our vintage commercial category, here's a truck that means business. Don and Sharon Marinovich from Columbia, a 1962 Dodge model WM300 Power Wagon. It's equipped to go to work. Beautifully restored vehicle. I think Gail's signing him up to do some work here. I'm not sure. And now in our vintage motorcycle group, first prize to Mark Lang from Lodi, California. Really rare 1917 Douglas motorcycle. Running like a champ. 1917. Douglas is an extremely obscure brand. This is a very rare motorcycle. Next in our category, we have a lovely display of automobiles by De Tomaso, and first prize, belonging to Tom Galley, is a 1969 De Tomaso Mangusta Coupe. I think low to the ground is a modest description for this car. Beautiful V8 powered sports car. While we don't move the trailers once they're in their village back there, we would recognize that the trailer chosen by the judges this year to receive an award, first prize, is Michael and Aiden Hayward from Sebastopol, California, with a 1951 Sokolis Brothers trailer. And we'd be delighted if they could come down to the stage and pick up their award. And moving into our special award. All right. Our most elegant closed car is chosen by the judges today. 1934 Packard V12 Club Sedan, belonging to Alan and Anna Nelson from San Mateo, California. Two-passenger blind quarter, a two-window blind quarter, five-passenger sedan. Many feel the most elegant style that Packard built in the 30s. And this is a very, very elegant example. And I think you'll agree the most exciting open car here today, John Grosseto from Sonora. This is a 1955 Oscar Model NJ4 Morelli Spider. Oscar was a competition car in the 1950s, and this is a very, very rare example. Great racing history and provenance, and a beautiful car, and I think exciting is a great description. Sounds exciting. Alright, the best unrestored car. This is a 1922 Stutz Model KLDH Sportster, brought today by Bob Jacobson and Virginia Lee of Los Altos. This car was pulled out of a barn in upper New England, taken to a shop to get a little bit of mechanical work done, so it was a reliable runner, and it was taken to the 100th anniversary celebration of the Indianapolis 500 Speedway, which was done this July. And all the cars that were present for that show, which were built in Indiana, as such were invited to take a parade loop around the Indianapolis 500 track, and this car did that very loop. And it's with us here today, the 1922 Stutz Sportster. The Ironstone Foundation chooses an award, and this year our award goes to John White from Sacramento. This is a 1947 Chrysler Town and Country convertible, which was especially constructed for actor Leo Carrillo. You may remember him. He was in many movies, but he gained probably the greatest exposure as the sidekick to the Cisco Kid on the television program that ran for many years. And he had the spearhead and horns affixed to this car, and it was done when it was new, and it's quite an interesting car. Leo Carrillo himself was a very interesting man. He was very, very early on in land preservation. He descended from an original land grant family in California and has a beach named after him in Los Angeles. We have Aiden and Don Hayward to receive their trailer award. These folks have been regular campers with us. Sometimes I think they have the best deal at this show. They come, they don't have to get a motel, they're all set, they're on the premises. Thanks so much for your constant participation. Next is a highly unusual car, and we give this award in honor of our many sponsors. Mr. Eugene Kalman from San Diego. This is a 1929 Grand Page special limousine which was prepared for Paramount Studios and by Paramount Studios as a publicity vehicle. And it has the most amazing, if you've looked at the car out on the field, the most amazing collection of special features. The front has a cow catcher, the rear has an observation deck. It is the most unusual Grand Page. We're really pleased that the car is here. Thanks so much for bringing this car all the way from San Diego. Next, I'd like to introduce Michael Levin of Sports Car Market Magazine, who is going to present their special award.
On behalf of Sports Car Market, we're presenting the Spirit of Motoring Award. we selected this 1966 Corvette. It's a 42,000 mile unrestored number 2 condition car, and still had exactly one owner since new. And I'd just like to say, for being an outstanding steward and keeping this car in remarkable original condition while still using and enjoying it in the spirit of motoring, thank you, and congratulations to Wendell and Dot Haley.
Thank you to Sports Car Market Magazine for supporting our show this year. All right, the moment we've been waiting for, Best of Show. We do a closed car and an open car. Best of Show closed for 2011, a 1941 Mercury station wagon belonging to Wally and Sylvia Hamilton from Nevada City, California. Beautiful example. In the 1950s, these cars were all worn out and worn down and hauling surfboards to the beach, and now they are amongst the most collectible vehicles extant. And Best of Show open. Again, Mr. John Muckle from Groveland, California, with his 1915 Stutz Bearcat. A beautiful 2-passenger speedster, again, a huge 4-cylinder T-head engine. All of a 12-inch diameter monocle for a windshield, 2 seats and a gas tank. This car was meant to travel, which it did. We thank John for bringing it over from Groveland. Beautiful car. And before we finish our awards, a car that did not drive up onto the stage because of our stop and start and so forth, but we really appreciated being here, and we have a special award for Gene and Colleen Clark from Chico for bringing their 1948 Tucker sedan to share with us, which was in the back of the field today. I hope you all got a chance to look at it. We're going to bring the trophy up to the car. They have a very tricky transmission, which does not like much to idle, so it's not a car that's ideal for inching along our parade, but we really appreciated being here. That concludes our awards for this year. We are the 4th Saturday in September next year, which I believe is September about the 22nd.